Your dog has been trying to communicate with you every single day, not through barking, not through tricks, through behaviors so quiet and so constant that most owners walk right past them without a second thought. And every time you miss one, your dog learns the same lesson. They are not being heard. Most people think they understand their dog. They don't. And the gap between what your dog is actually saying and what you think they're saying is the reason so many dogs develop anxiety, aggression, and behaviors that seem to come out of nowhere. They did not come out of nowhere. You just were not reading the signals. This video is going to walk you through 7 things your dog desperately needs you to understand. Stay until the end because number 7 is the one that will completely change the way you see the animal lying next to you right now. Welcome to Dino's Lessons. If you want to truly understand the dog you live with, subscribe right now. Let's get into it. 1. Your dog does not feel guilty. That face you think is guilt is actually fear. You come home, the trash is knocked over. There is garbage across the kitchen floor. Your dog is in the corner with their head low, ears pinned back, eyes looking up at you with that expression every owner has seen. And you point at the mess and say, "You know what you did." They don't. They have absolutely no idea what they did. That face is not guilt. That face is fear. And the difference between those two things matters more than almost anything else in this video. A study published in the journal Behavioral Processes tested this directly. Researchers set up a scenario where dogs were falsely accused of eating a treat they had not actually taken. The dogs showed the exact same guilty look as dogs who had actually eaten the treat. The expression had nothing to do with what the dog did. It had everything to do with how the owner was acting. Your dog is not reflecting on their past behavior. Dogs do not have the cognitive architecture for that kind of moral reasoning. What they are doing is reading your body language in real time, your stiff posture, your sharp tone, your direct eye contact. Every one of those signals tells your dog's nervous system that something dangerous is happening right now. So that look you have been interpreting as, "I know I was bad," is actually your dog saying, "I do not know why you are upset, but I can tell that I am not safe right now." And every time that happens, a small piece of trust erodes. Not dramatically, not all at once, but steadily. Because your dog is learning that sometimes, for reasons they cannot predict or understand, the person they depend on becomes a source of fear. If you take nothing else from this video, take this. When you come home to a mess, say nothing, clean it up, move on. The moment for correction passed hours ago. The only thing left is the relationship. Keep watching because point 2 is connected to this in a way most owners never realize. When your dog turns away from you, they are not ignoring you, they are calming you down. This is one of the most misunderstood behaviors in the entire world of dogs, and it happens multiple times a day in almost every home. You call your dog's name. They look at you and then slowly turn their head away. You call again, louder. They still do not look. You think they are being stubborn. You think they are blowing you off. You might even get frustrated. They are doing the opposite of ignoring you. They are trying to de-escalate. In canine body language, turning the head away is what behaviorists call a calming signal. It is one of roughly 30 signals dogs use to communicate non-verbally with other dogs and with humans. Norwegian dog trainer Turid Rugaas identified and cataloged these signals across years of observation and found that head turning is one of the most common. When a dog turns away from you, they are saying, "I can feel tension in this interaction, and I am trying to bring it down." It is a peace offering. It is your dog's way of saying, "I am not a threat. Please do not be one either." But when owners interpret this as defiance, they escalate. They raise their voice, they move closer, they repeat the command harder. And now the dog is receiving the opposite message from the one they tried to send. They tried to lower the temperature, and the temperature went up. Other calming signals include lip licking when no food is present, yawning when they are not tired, sniffing the ground in a tense moment, and walking in a slow curve instead of a straight line toward another dog. Once you learn to see these, you will notice your dog uses them constantly, and you will realize they have been talking to you this entire time. You just did not speak the language yet. And that brings us to point 3, which is the one most people need to hear the most. Your dog does not want to dominate you. That theory has been debunked for over a decade. If someone has ever told you that your dog is trying to be the alpha, that they are pulling on the leash because they want to be in charge, that they need to be shown who is boss, I need you to hear this clearly. That theory is wrong. It has been wrong for years, and it is still hurting dogs every single day. The idea that dogs operate in rigid dominance hierarchies came from a 1947 study on captive wolves. Wolves in captivity were observed competing aggressively for rank. From there, people assumed pet dogs behave the same way. They do not. The researcher who popularized the alpha wolf concept, David Meck, has spent years publicly correcting it. He has said repeatedly that wild wolf packs do not function through dominance and submission. They function as family units, with parents guiding younger wolves, not ruling them through force. And yet, the myth persists. Trainers still tell owners to eat before their dog, to walk through doorways first, to pin their dog on their back in an alpha role when they misbehave. None of this is supported by current science. All of it damages the relationship between you and your dog. When your dog pulls on the leash, they are not trying to dominate you. They are excited, and no one has taught them that walking beside you is more rewarding than pulling ahead. When your dog jumps on the couch, they are not claiming territory. They are seeking comfort. When your dog does not obey a command, they are not challenging your authority. They either do not understand what you are asking, or they are not motivated enough in that moment to respond. Every one of those situations has a clear, science-based solution that does not involve intimidation. And every one of them gets worse when you approach your dog as an opponent instead of a partner. Your dog is not trying to run your household. They are trying to live in it. The sooner you stop looking for power struggles, the sooner you will see what is actually happening. And what is actually happening is point 4. Your dog needs mental stimulation more than they need another walk around the block. You walk your dog every day, maybe twice a day. You come home and they still have energy. They still pace. They still chew things they should not be chewing. They still seem restless, even though they got their exercise. This is one of the most common frustrations dog owners face, and the solution is not more physical exercise. The solution is mental work. A dog's brain needs to solve problems. It needs to search, figure things out, make decisions, and experience the satisfaction of working through something challenging. Without that, a dog's mind runs idle, and an idle mind in a dog does the same thing an idle mind does in a human. It finds something to do on its own, usually something you will not like. Research published in the journal Applied Animal Behavior Science found that dogs provided with regular cognitive enrichment, puzzle feeders, scent work, novel problem-solving tasks showed significantly lower rates of anxiety-related behaviors than dogs who received physical exercise alone. 15 minutes of nose work can tire a dog out more effectively than a 45-minute walk. Think about that. Your dog does not need to run further. They need to think harder. Scatter their kibble in the grass and let them find it. Hide treats in a muffin tin covered with tennis balls. Teach them a new behavior once a week, not because the behavior matters, but because the process of learning is what their brain is starving for. A dog who gets to use their mind is a calmer dog, a more confident dog, and a dog who is far less likely to destroy your house out of sheer boredom. And that calm is going to matter more than ever when you hear point 5. The way you come home is either building your dog's confidence or destroying it. You walk through the front door. Your dog loses their mind, jumping, spinning, barking, whining, running in circles. And your first instinct is to match that energy. You drop everything and shower them with excitement. Hi, baby, I missed you. Who's a good dog? It feels like love, and it is love, but it is also teaching your dog something you probably do not want them to learn. When you match your dog's frantic energy the moment you come home, you are confirming their emotional state. You are telling their nervous system that this level of arousal is correct, that your absence was something worth panicking about and your return is something worth losing control over. Over time, this pattern does not just create an excited greeting. It builds separation anxiety. Because if your return is the biggest event of the day, your departure becomes the biggest loss. The highs and the lows are connected. You cannot inflate one without inflating the other. A study in the Journal of Veterinary Behavior found that dogs whose owners practiced calm greetings, waiting until the dog settled before offering attention, showed significantly lower rates of distress behaviors during owner absence compared to dogs whose owners engaged in high arousal greetings. So what does a better homecoming look like? You walk in, you set your things down, You do not make eye contact yet. You let your dog's excitement peak and begin to come down on its own. And the moment they offer you something calmer, a sit, 4 paws on the floor, even just a brief pause in the frenzy, that is when you acknowledge them. Calmly, warmly, with genuine affection, but without frenzy. What you are teaching them is that your presence is not an event, it is a constant. And a dog who believes your presence is a constant does not need to panic when it is temporarily gone. That lesson alone can fix problems that owners spend thousands of dollars trying to solve. Keep watching. Point 6 is the one that most dog owners get completely backwards. 6. Your dog is not being bad. Your dog is being stressed. And the difference changes everything. Your dog chews the baseboard while you are at work. Your dog barks nonstop when someone walks past the window. Your dog snaps at a guest who reached down to pet them. Your dog has an accident inside even though they were just outside 30 minutes ago. And the label that gets put on every single one of those behaviors is the same. Bad dog. They are not bad. They are overwhelmed. And the fact that we keep mislabeling stress as misbehavior is the reason so many dogs never get the help they actually need. Destructive behavior in the owner's absence is one of the most reliable indicators of separation distress, not defiance. Excessive barking at environmental triggers is hypervigilance, a hallmark of chronic anxiety. Snapping at an unfamiliar person reaching toward them is a fear response, not aggression. Having accidents indoors after being outside is often a sign that the dog was too anxious outside to relax enough to eliminate. Every single one of those behaviors makes perfect sense once you look at them through the lens of stress instead of disobedience. And the interventions are completely different. You do not punish stress. You address the root cause, you reduce triggers, you build confidence, you give the dog the tools to cope instead of expecting them to just behave through the discomfort. A study published in the journal Animals found that owners who were educated about canine stress signals were significantly more likely to seek appropriate behavioral help for their dogs, and significantly less likely to use punishment-based corrections. Simply understanding that the dog is stressed rather than bad changed the entire trajectory of the relationship. The next time your dog does something that frustrates you, before you react, ask one question. Is this dog being difficult, or is this dog having a difficult time? That one question will make you a better owner than 90% of the people who never think to ask it. And now we are at number 7. This is the one I told you about at the beginning. This is the one that changes everything. Your dog is not waiting for you to be a perfect owner. They are waiting for you to be a present one. This is the thing that almost no one in the dog world will say to you, and it is the thing that matters more than every training technique, every scientific study, and every piece of advice in this entire video. Your dog does not need you to be perfect. They never did. They do not care if you used the wrong correction last Tuesday. They do not care that you lost your patience and raised your voice on that walk. They do not hold a running tally of your mistakes the way you do. What your dog needs and what they have been asking for since the day they came into your life is your presence, not your perfection, your attention, not your anxiety about getting everything right. The moments that matter most to your dog are not the ones you plan. They are not the structured training sessions or the Instagram-worthy hikes or the expensive toys you bought to make up for working late. The moments that matter most are the quiet ones. Sitting on the floor next to them for no reason. Letting them rest their head on your leg while you read. Making eye contact across the room and just holding it for a second. Saying their name softly when no one else is around. A study at the University of Vienna found that the single strongest predictor of a secure attachment bond between a dog and their owner was not training frequency, not exercise quantity, not diet quality. It was the consistency of calm, positive social interaction over time, not intensity, consistency. Your dog chose to trust you, not because you earned it through some perfect sequence of behaviors, because you were there, again and again and again. And every time you were there and nothing bad happened, their nervous system wrote a line of code that said, "This person is safe. I can rest here." That is what your dog has been trying to tell you this entire time. Not that you are doing it wrong, not that you need to buy something or fix something or become someone you are not. Just that you are the most important part of their world and all they need is for you to show up. Not perfectly, just consistently. You will never be able to look at the dog lying beside you the same way again. And you should not. because they were never just lying there. They were choosing to be near you. And that choice, that quiet, unremarkable, everyday choice, is the deepest thing an animal can give. If this video changed the way you see your dog, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Every dog deserves an owner who understands what they have been saying all along. Subscribe to Dino's Lessons. We are here every week helping you understand the animal that chose to spend their life with you. They have been talking to you every day. Now you know how to listen.